Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Shimano SH-RC503 road cycling shoes. Shimano's RC range of road cycling shoes range from the flexible and budget-friendly RC1 all the way up to the sprinter-focused S-PHYRE RC9 Power shoes. With the new updated Shimano RC503 shoes that we have here, they bring the latest technology to their mid-level carbon-reinforced shoes that offer the performance you want at a much more affordable price point. Packaging wise, you can see very simple. You just have the Shimano box with the blue Shimano branding on there. And then a little sticker with the version we have. Go ahead and open this up and we'll go over the full specs. Retail price on this is $190, so it's a mid-level shoe, a lot more affordable than the RC9 and S-PHYRE versions, but still gives you a carbon reinforced midsole that has a stiffness index of 8, which is a lot better than the RC3. So especially if you're a road cyclist, this is definitely one to look at. You get a single BOA L6C dial, which gives you good control over the fit. You have a synthetic leather upper with TPU mesh along the front for ventilation and this cool dimpled effect. And it's also 3-bolt compatible, so you can do SPD-SL or Look KEO cleats on here really easily. As far as what comes with them, obviously you just get the shoes. These are the wide variation that we have. And they're both packaged pretty nicely, so you have little paper surrounds so they don't get scratched. And then Shimano's gigantic safety information with all the languages on it. Now let's take a look at the weight of these shoes. These are a Euro 44 in a men's wide. So if I put the right shoe, it's 268 grams. And then we try to get the left shoe on there. You can see it's exact same at 268. Visually, the RC503 shoes share the same wraparound upper design language that we see across the Shimano RC lineup, so it definitely looks like it's part of the series. The clever design feature of this is that you actually have a one-piece design. So the upper material is a single piece, and you can see how it wraps underneath. So you don't have a traditional tongue, and it helps really distribute the pressure, and you get a much sleeker appearance as you don't have additional seams or additional pieces. This is a mid-level shoe, so you get a single BOA dial, and that lets you do micro tightening, but no micro loosening, so it won't rotate the other way. You have to pull up to release all the tension. And you can see the upper material is actually a synthetic leather. So you can see a nice matte finish, and then you have TPU mesh integrated in here for additional breathability. So this is all mesh here, and you can see here additional mesh for ventilation. You also have this really cool dimpled effect on the front around the toe guard that helps give these shoes a distinctive look, along with this little cutout along the edges, which helps the material flex a little bit. Shimano offers these shoes in 3 men's variations. You have the white, cyber blue, and then the black that we have here. The cyber blue is definitely the one to get. It's the Shimano blue color, so it really stands out. Same blue as you see with all the branding. And it has a little darker blue here and darker blue on the top as a little bit of an accent. The black and white variations are a little bit more sleek, so you can see all black. You have RC5 in this reflective finish on the outside, Shimano on top, and you even have a reflective strip on the heel. Shimano also offers these in a really wide range of sizes, including the wide variations like we have here, so if you have a wider foot, you can find the one that matches your fit. But you can see a nice wide toe box that's shared with the rest of the Shimano shoe lineup. So really comfortable, and with this flexible design, you can see you don't have any pressure points like you had with traditional shoes. Looking closer at the closure system, you can see it's just a single dial placed up here near the ankle. You have micro tightening, so you can see if I rotate it one way, it really pulls everything together, and that's the cool feature of this. It pulls these two materials over each other instead of having a really single pressure point. It's an L6C, so it looks sleek, but you don't have micro tighten or loosening. So you have to pull it up to release the tension if you want to make it a little bit looser, push down, and then tighten it back to where you want it. So not as nice as the higher end dials, but definitely works for most riding. And you can see you have 3 rows of cable routing with these little guides that go up and around that helps distribute the pressure. But you can see a nice wide toe box, and They've even added some nice details like the padded ankle piece here that prevents any pressure points, so nice soft padding. Same thing around the heel. Unlike the RC7 or RC9 shoes, you can see the back side of the shoe has a very simple heel guard instead of a big heel cup. It's still stiffer, but it's not a big exposed piece, so it'll still hold you in place, but not as exaggerated. And you also have the bumpers on the front and rear. So pretty simple bumper here on the front. The back bumper is pretty thin, and it's actually non-replaceable with this. With the other models, they're usually screwed in and you can swap it out, which is always a nice feature. And you can see with the outsole here, you don't have a big exposed outsole. They use a midsole design. So it actually has carbon reinforced nylon on the inside of this, and this is more of a cover. So you can see glossy piece around here, and then you can actually see the 3-bolt setup here. So it actually has forward and aft adjustment. So you can move this back and forth to adjust the cleat placement. And you can see the little markings here that help you position your cleats. You also have a big vent on the front, which helps with cooling, and otherwise nice kind of concealed design. If we go to the inside of the shoe, you can see the insole is actually pretty nice, so Shimano always does a nice job with these. Nice foam piece, you can see the little cutouts and ventilation. And it has a wraparound design, so it actually goes up and over the edges where you might feel any pressure points. You can also see the interior has that honeycomb finish, so that is actually the nylon and carbon fiber combination. That gives you a nice stiffness without being really bulky, so it has lower stack height. If we grab a light, you can actually see the full interior of the shoe. You have that honeycomb texture all the way up to the front. Big open vent here, and you can see some of the ventilation here with the light on. It's not as obvious as some other shoes, but you can definitely see the light shine through it. And the other thing is that big pad where the cleats attach to eliminate any pressure points. You can see here that the heel bumper is not replaceable. You don't have an exposed bolt here like you would with other shoes. But otherwise, nice combination, gives you performance you want at a much more affordable price point. See some riding footage with the RC503 shoes. The Euro 44 wide that we have here fit very similar to the other Shimano shoes. So everything from the 1 to the 9 have a similar wide toe box. Really comfortable fit. You don't have as much arch support with this one compared to the S-PHYRE, which have the different insoles, but still fit great right off the bat. So right out of the box, they're very comfortable. We have the wider variation here, but even the standard variation has the wider toe box that Shimano's known for, so very comfortable. With these shoes, they inherit so much of the features of the RC9 and the rest of the lineup. It feels very similar, so no pressure points, good ventilation, and with the carbon infused sole here, it's a big improvement over the RC1 and 3, which are very flexible. With this one, it feels nice and stiff. It has a very little flex, so when you're really climbing or sprinting, you can slightly feel it. So it's not as good as the RC7, which has the double BOA dials and the even stiffer sole, but this one is more than enough, I think, for most road cyclists and feels good on the bike. So even sprinting, climbing, feels very similar, so about 80% of the performance. So overall, really impressed with it. The single dial works well, and it has the nice wide fit that Shimano's known for. So we found it to be a really comfortable shoe and a good bargain compared to the rest of the lineup. We'd still probably go with the RC7 with the dual dials if you're more of an enthusiast and want to do longer distances. But for everything between the RC5s, a really nice balance at an affordable price point. We're lucky enough to actually have reviewed all of the RC shoe variations, and these are all the current variations. We have the RC1, RC3, the RC503, the RC7, RC9, and RC9 Power. So starting at the low end, you can see the RC1 gives you Velcro, very affordable, so it's just around $100, but it has a nylon sole, and then the big downside is the Velcro. So this is good if you're doing trainer or more of a recreational cyclist. You just want something comfortable and easy to adjust. The next one up is the RC3, so similar design, but it swaps out Velcro for a single BOA dial. So same micro tightening, but you have to lift up to loosen it. Same outsole, so very soft. These are nylon, so it's definitely flexible. And that's good if you're more of a beginner cyclist, but if you're doing a lot of sprinting or longer distances, you're gonna want something stiffer. That's the nice thing about the RC5 that we have here now. And you can actually see the difference between the wide and the standard width. So you can see it's a little bit wider. With this one, you also get a BOA dial, but a higher end model. And you get the carbon reinforced outsole, which is really the big benefit here. So you put these side by side, you can see very similar shaping and design. They have the same kind of cover that conceals most of it. Same vent design, a little bit bigger on the 5, but with this one, it's a stiffness index of 8 versus what's probably more like a 3 on the just nylon version. But otherwise, very similar styling, same cutouts. And this one has a little bit different dual accent. You have this leather, more glossy leather and a matte finish. But otherwise, very similar. And you can see that wraparound upper material construction is on all the models. If you want even more performance, you have the RC7, which also comes with this really cool, almost iridescent finish. So you can see nice and glossy. This gives you dual dials. So you get micro tightening again, but you don't get micro loosening, so you have to lift up. But with the dual dials, you get a little more adjustment. You get a stiffness index of 10 with this carbon outsole or midsole here, as it's concealed, versus 8 on these 5. So if you want more performance, definitely recommend the 7. And then if you really want even more than that, you can get the top end RC9. You can see beautiful iridescent finish. Actually shifts colors depending on the light. This has a stiffness index of 12, so even stiffer. You get a heel and toe vent, replaceable heel pad, and you can see this wraparound construction that's fully integrated. So it looks really cool and a very comfortable shoe. But again, you can see that you do get the trickle down technology with the wraparound straps. It's just the details like the actual dials themselves. And then at the top end, you have the power version, which goes to a single aluminum dial. So it's their alloy Li2 with this really cool crystal finish. You can see that big exposed heel cup. But with this one, single dial that's really optimized for sprinting. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Shimano RC503 shoes. What we like about them is they're very competitively priced, so they're the most affordable carbon shoes you can get in the RC lineup. And they have a pretty good balance between stiffness and comfort. You also have a secure fit with the single BOA dial. As far as negatives, there's really nothing to say here. They're a really good mid-level shoe. Taking everything into account, would give these shoes a 9.4 out of 10. It's a great performance shoes on a budget. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.